Lee Jordan was a British wizard who was the son of Mr. and Mrs. Jordan. He was a Gryffindor student at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. He was either a pure blood or half-blood. He was a very close friend and a classmate of Fred and George and helped them with their troublemaking. However, in the first movie, it is shown as if he was in Harry's year. Even though it was not mentioned in the first movie that he was in Harry's year, anyone who has not read the book and watches the movie will think that he was in Harry's year. He was born somewhere between 1st September 1977 to 31st August 1978. He was a comedic person like his friends Fred and George. He was a good-hearted person and was very kind. He was rather popular at school. He started his education at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry at 1989. He was the Quidditch commentator during his years at Hogwarts, but he was always closely supervised by his head of house, Professor Minerva McGonagall, as he mostly favored Gryffindor. He was first mentioned by Fred and George while they were on the Hogwarts Express talking with Harry. During his third year, while he was doing the commentary for the match against Gryffindor versus Slytherin, he started praising Angelina Johnson, who was the Caesar of Gryffindor. Professor McGonagall shouted at him and he continued his commentary of the match which heavily favored Gryffindor. The following year, he continued to commentate and again heavily favored Gryffindor, and not much happened to him that year. The same year, when the Chamber of Secrets was reopened and the basilisk had petrified Justin, Rowling, Hermione and Penelope Clearwater, Lee told his fellow Gryffindors that one Hufflepuff, one Ravenclaw and two Gryffindors were petrified, but no Slytherin had been petrified. He told the others that Basilisk was the monster of Slytherin. The following year, during the Quidditch match against Gryffindor and Ravenclaw, instead of commentating about the match, Lee started to describe Harry's firebolt in admiration. He describes the firebolt as, "The big excitement this match is the firebolt which Harry Potter is flying for Gryffindor, according to which broomstick the firebolt's going to be the broom of choice for the national teams at this year's World Championship." Professor McGonagall interrupted, saying Lee to describe the match instead of the firebolt. During that same match, Lee again started to describe the firebolt when Harry increased his flying speed. However, he was interrupted by Professor McGonagall, who shouted at him, asking whether he was paid to advertise the firebolt. The same year, during the Quidditch final match that had to decide who will be the Quidditch champion that year, Lee commented, saying that the Gryffindor Quidditch team was the best side Hogwarts had seen in a good few years. The statement was, however, drowned by a tie of boos from the Slytherin end. He commented the whole match favoring Gryffindor, and whenever Gryffindor scored a goal or saved a goal, he would be overjoyed and comment with full enthusiasm. That same match, when Malfoy pulled the tail of Harry's firebolt, Lee shouted, saying, "You cheating scum," and this time Professor McGonagall didn't bother to stop him. The same year was his owl ordinary wizarding level, and he earned an owl in charms and was able to cast the levitating charm. During his 6th year, Hogwarts was the host of the Triwizard Tournament, which resulted in cancelling all Quidditch matches. He discussed the ways to avoid the age restriction that was to be placed around the Goblet of Fire with Fred and George. The same year, Fred and George had put a bet with Ludo Bagman, who was the former Quidditch player and the current head of the Department of Magical Games and Sport. Fred and George later won the bet, but Bagman didn't give them back their money. It turned out that Lee Jordan's father had had a bit of trouble getting money off Bagman as well. Bagman was in a big trouble with the goblins as he had borrowed loads of gold of them. The following year on the Hogwarts Express, Fred and George told Harry that they needed to sit down with Lee to talk business. During his Hogwarts Express journey, Lee saw Sirius Black in platform 9 3/4. However, Sirius was in his Animagus form, so Lee didn't recognize him. The same year, Umbridge arrived at Hogwarts as the defense against the Dark Arts teacher, and she later became the Hogwarts High Inquisitor, which meant that Lee, Fred and George will have difficulties as they normally enjoyed pulling pranks at others. The same year, during a Quidditch match of Gryffindor versus Slytherin, Lee started to compliment Angelina Johnson. He said that she was a brilliant player and he had been saying this for years, but she still won't go out with him. However, he was interrupted by Professor McGonagall. In his defense, he told Professor McGonagall that it was just a fun fact which adds a bit of interest in the game. He continued to commentate in the game, favoring Gryffindor as usual. He was one of the first who joined Dumbledore's army. During the meeting in Hogshead for the organization of Dumbledore's army, Lee arrived there with Fred and George, and all three of them were carrying large paper bags crammed with Junko's Joke Shop's merchandise. As Lee was a member of Dumbledore's army, he must have mastered some defensive skills under Harry's teaching. Lee was also able to vanish objects in his 7th year, which is some of the most complicated magic taught in Transfiguration class. The same year when Fred and George left Hogwarts, Lee was dispirited. However, he was commentating in the final match of Gryffindor versus Ravenclaw. When the Ravenclaw captain Dravish took the quaffle and scolded, Lee swore very loudly. The same year, when Umbridge had been trying her best to sack Hagrid, Lee kept putting Nifflers in her office. A Niffler is a creature which is attracted to shiny things and is very good at locating them. Umbridge, however, didn't know who was responsible for putting those Nifflers in her office, but she believed that Hagrid was responsible for it, which meant that Umbridge would now do anything she can to sack Hagrid out of Hogwarts. Lee later told the others that he was the one who had been putting those Nifflers in her office. "It's me who's been putting the Nifflers in her office. Fred and George left me a couple. I have been levitating them in through her window." That was Lee Jordan's final year at Hogwarts. The following year, Zacharias Smith took his place as the Quidditch commentator. However, he was later replaced by Luna Lovegood, and Harry and Ron enjoyed Luna's commentary, and Harry later praised her. The next year, Lee started a radio program named Potter Watch, where he told his viewers what's really going on. However, they kept changing their location as they could not risk staying at the same place because of the Death Eaters. Lee was using a code name of River. Ron claimed that he has been listening to Potter Watch when he had left Harry and Hermione. They kept a different passport for each Death podcast, and those who have the passport can only hear them. He had also been inviting people like Fred, George, Kingsley, and Lupin as guests. They all had code names. They also encouraged the viewers to support Harry Potter. They also informed their viewers about those who had been killed. When Lee Jordan asked Kingsley what would he say to those viewers who prioritize wizards over muggles in these dangerous times, Kingsley replied saying, "I would say that it's one short step from wizards first to pureblood first and then to Death Eaters. We are all human, are not we? And every human life is worth the same and worth saving." Lee replied to Kingsley saying that Kingsley has got his vote for Minister of Magic if they ever get out of this mess. Later that year, Lee fought in the Battle of Hogwarts. He was a very skilled duelist, and during the Battle of Hogwarts, he and George were able to slam Death Eater Yaxley to floor. During the battle, Fred Weasley died, and Lee was devastated by the loss of his friend Fred. After the Battle of Hogwarts, Lee might have gone to work at Weasley's Wizard Wizards to continue assisting George with the creation and selling of their joke products. It is, however, unknown whether this happened or not.